I'm Gwen Weerts, the journals manager at SPIE, the International Society for Optics and Photonics. I'd like to share the results of my recent study that explored the impact of promotion on article downloads. Millions of new scholarly papers are published every single year, and it is challenging to help the good research stand out in that ocean of output. Authors, institutions, and publishers often try to help newly published work stand out via publicity channels such as social media and press releases, but the impact of those efforts has been unclear. SPIE staff spend time writing and commissioning layperson summaries of research articles and writing and tagging posts for social media. We want to know if those efforts are paying off. Are the promoted articles downloaded at a higher rate than articles that were not promoted? Do article summaries, which require greater resources, have a higher impact on downloads than social media promotion, which requires comparatively fewer resources? And do our promotional efforts have a lasting impact on downloads over time? So to answer these questions, I gathered 20 months of download data for 4 gold open access journals and compared the downloads for papers that were not promoted at all, were promoted only via social media, or were promoted via a layperson article summary, which was distributed as a press release, and then also promoted on social media. I recorded download numbers for each paper at 1 month, 3 months, and 12 months. And social media promotion included Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Reddit, and/or WeChat. The findings were interesting. For the highest impact journal, Advanced Photonics, summarized articles were downloaded 2 times more than non-summarized articles at 1 month, but that correlation lessened over time. And after a year, there was no difference at all in downloads between papers that were promoted with summaries and those that weren't. 3 out of 4 journals saw the most significant difference in downloads in the first month, with a declining difference in downloads over the year. But there was one journal, JOM, that was an exception. And downloads of summarized articles actually increased from 73% to 130% over the course of the year. Now, when looking at papers that were only promoted via social media, no summaries, the correlation between promotion and downloads was more moderate, and the impact was greatest within the first month following publication and then quickly declined from there, which I think is not surprising to anyone. There is a positive correlation between promotional activity and article downloads. Summarized articles were downloaded between 72% and 355% more than non-summarized articles, depending on the journal. Papers promoted only via social media were downloaded between 48 and 80% more than non-promoted papers at 1 month. The impact of article promotion lessened over time for 3 journals, but as I mentioned, it did increase for 1 journal. This unusual finding might be explained because the number of papers studied was quite small. There were just 38 in that journal in that time period. So 1 or 2 highly downloaded papers could have really skewed the results. Also, a few popular papers were re-promoted months after publication, causing a secondary spike in downloads. So while the results of this study seem incredibly promising, there is a significant caveat. There always is. In this case, it's that the articles that were selected for promotion by journal editors or by staff, and they chose papers that they expected would be popular due to the topic or the author group. So it is entirely possible that these papers would have received higher downloads no matter what. We could have overcome this selection bias by promoting papers randomly, such as every 4th paper, but that didn't suit our business goals. Now, next step for this study is that I would like to return to this list of papers and gather citation data at 3 years following publication to see if there is a correlation between promotion and citations. So in conclusion, this study confirms that the article promotion is positively correlated to article downloads, but it stops short of decisively proving causation due to the selection bias that I mentioned. We observed that summarized articles had a higher and longer lasting positive correlation to downloads for the 2 journals studied with lower impact, whereas the highest impact journal showed no correlation to promotional efforts after 1 year. This suggests that we should probably focus our promotional activity on lower impact journals because we can expect a greater long tail impact of those efforts over time. We also learned that summarized articles distributed via press release and on the Spy News website, received more download activity than those promoted only on social media, which indicates that article summaries are worth the additional investment. This study confirms that we are getting a return on our investment in science communication, which may help justify that expense on future budgets. It may also persuade researchers to dedicate time to promoting their own work with the help of university press offices and social media. Thanks so much.